Hey, howdy, hey, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be going over my cast wish list for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15 because they recently wrapped up the audition process and hopefully soon there will be some sort of cast list floating around at some point. But I figured for today's video, I'll go over the queens I would like to see on Season 15 and all the above. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to hit that like button. Comment down below who you want to see, and hit that subscribe button. Come join the Amateur Hour community. And without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright. So, I was going through my list, making my list and all the above. I also was kind of inspired by seeing other people posting their cast wish list videos. So I was like, oh, this would be a fun video to do. I haven't done it in a bit, so why not? So, I unintentionally put a whole bunch of Chicago queens. I didn't realize that until after I made my list, and I was like, this is heavily Chicago based, which, I mean, like, hey, work. Like, Chicago has some great drag queens and other drag performers, so, like, why not? But, with that all being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into this list. We are going to be starting out with the IHOP Girls, of course. First, we have Auntie Chan. I think Auntie Chan would be an amazing competitor on Drag Race. Obviously, she's from Chicago. And I feel like this... I keep seeing Auntie Chan, like, being good friends with a lot of Ru girls. She's good friends with Sigourney. And she's just good friends with a lot of people who are associated with Drag Race. So I could easily see her coming in and being on Drag Race and doing really, really well. Because I feel like she is a very funny queen. She knows how to perform. She knows how to do a lot. And I love Auntie Chan. And I think she would be an amazing performer on Drag Race. And I could easily see her making it really, really far. Next, of course, still in the IHOP Girls crowd, we have Alexis Bevels, who's also from Chicago. Of course, I love IMHO and I love all the queens on IMHO. And I think Alexis would be great too. She's already done Camp Wanakiki. She's already familiar with Drag Race, with drag, and all the above. Like, these three IMHO queens would be amazing, any of them. So I could easily see Alexis also making it on the show. Whether it's now or later, I don't know. But I really like Alexis Bevels, and I think she would be great too. Finally, for the last IMHO girl, of course we have DARBY. I mean, like, you can't not have DARBY on the list if you're gonna have Alexis and Auntie Chan. And honestly, all three of them would be amazing competitors. And I think DARBY brings something herself they all have their own unique essences, I guess. And they all would be an amazing additions on the show. Like, could you imagine all three of them competing at once? That'd be iconic. Iconic. But if I were to make a guess as to who would probably be the first one of the IMHO queens to compete, I would probably go with Auntie Chan. But any of them would be great. Now we are still in Chicago, and I have my first ever drag king that I think should be competing on the show. I think it's been time we have a drag king on the show, and I think this drag king would be amazing. From Chicago, we have Tenderoni. I have been asking for this for so long, for a drag king on the show. More drag representation. I think Tenderoni would be a great choice. Obviously, Tenderoni won Alaska's drag competition. So, of course, Tenderoni has experience competing in drag. Tenderoni has a lot of experience in drag. And I think for a drag king to be on the show would be an amazing thing to do. And I think Tenderoni would be a great choice to have the first drag king. So that's why I have Tenderoni on this list. It's been time that we have a drag king, and I think Tenderoni would be a great choice. Next, we have Lucy Stool, also from Chicago. Again, just an icon in Chicago, an amazing queen, amazing makeup, amazing performance. Like, need I say more? Lucy Stool would be an amazing competitor. I feel like her name's so well known already, like, just seeing her compete on the show makes sense. Also, we could have our first bearded queen, which, by the way, has also been way overdue. So Lucy Stool, I think, would be an amazing competitor as well. Next, from New York City, of course, I have Laguna Blue. I thought Laguna would be on season 14. Like, I really thought Laguna would. Because, obviously, Jan was on 12, Rose was on 13, and I just thought Laguna would be 14, you know? Makes sense. Of course, Laguna was not on season 14. But I am holding out hope for Laguna to be on season 15. I think it makes sense. I think Laguna, if she's not on it now, I think she's going to be on it at any point. Like, it's just a matter of when they're going to cast her. Like, I was shocked she's not on 14. So it makes sense for Laguna to be on the show, and I could easily see her making it into season 15. We'll have to wait and see, but Laguna is definitely high up on the list in terms of queens who I think would definitely get on the show. Next, we have Becky Essence Hall from Milwaukee. Of course, Becky is Jade Essence Hall's drag daughter. Just a fun queen. Like, again, a lot of these queens that I include in my list are legacies from Drag Race, because I feel like a lot of them would be great competitors to continue on the legacy of their drag mothers or any drag families, you know? So I think it would make sense for Becky to be on the show. Obviously, Becky's younger than Jada, but I think she could still bring up some really cool stuff and just some fun energy to the show. So would love to see Becky on the show. Next, we have Janelle number 5. Again, another family legacy. It makes sense to have Janelle on the show. I thought she would be on 14. Again, like I said, we've had Candy, Aja, Dahlia. It makes sense. Just round it out, bring Janelle on the show. It's a matter of time. And I think season 14 really took a break from New York queens. Obviously, we have Jasmine Kennedy, but she's the only New York queen. So it makes sense, in my opinion, to come back and bring some people who I feel like a lot of people have been asking for, like Laguna and now Janelle. So I could easily see Janelle making it on the show. Next, we have Lady Shug. If you have seen We're Here, you know she was featured in season 1. I love Lady Shug. I could easily see her competing as well. And I think she brings something really special with her. Just the representation she brings with obviously being indigenous and being non-binary and just overall an amazing person. I would love to see Lady Shug on the show. I would love it. I would love it, love it. I think it's time, and I think she could do, like, just think about all the things she's been able to do with her current platform, and think about what this could do for her. Like, obviously she was on We're Here, but imagine what putting her on Drag Race would do for her. Like, imagine all the good she could do with that platform. I would love to see Lady Shug. Next, we have Creme Fatell. It's time for a cisgender female to be on the show. Of course, Creme Fatell has amazing makeup. Like, it's time. I think we need more AFAB representation, more representation beyond everywhere. We need every source of representation, which is why I think Creme Fatell would be a great choice. Again, great makeup, great looks. She could really, really bring some amazing runways, and I think she'd do really well. Yeah, I just want to see Creme Fatell on the show. Next, we have Onyx Black. Last year I made a list for season 14, and a lot of people commented telling me that I should include Onyx. And I looked more into them. Oh yeah, you guys are right. Onyx Black needs to be on Drag Race. An amazing queen. Need I say more? Need I say more? Next we have Izzy Uncut from New York City. Friends with Jan, friends with Rose, friends with all of those New York queens. Again, does a bunch of shows. It makes sense. It makes sense to put Izzy on the show. I think they do really well. Yep. Next we get Twink Trash, who is from Chicago as well. Obviously, Twink Trash became very famous through TikTok. It makes sense. Super amazing looks, super conceptual looks. Imagine all the runways we would get to see. Like, think about it. They make all of their own clothes, too. Like, come on. It makes sense. It makes sense. So I would love to see them on the show. Next we get Nebraska. It makes sense. Las Vegas, obviously, legacy still. She was born on Drag Race. It makes sense to put her on the show. Hopefully she will be. I don't know when, but I would love to see her compete. Yeah. Obviously she was also created on season 5. It makes sense to bring her back for 15, 10 whole seasons later. She comes back to compete. Think about it. It makes sense. Next, we have Baddie Davis from Chicago. If you have seen any of the Roscoe's viewing parties, you would recognize this name. Obviously, Baddie is the co-host for the Roscoe's viewing party, so it makes sense to put her on the show. Obviously, she performs with Roscoe's, performs with Rude Girls. Put 2 and 2 together, it makes sense. Next, we have Bible Girl from LA. Again, icon status. Put her on the show. Think about what she could do for the show. You're welcome. Yeah. And that's all I have to say. I mean, Bible Girl. Think about it. It makes sense. Finally, we have Bambi Banks Kool-Aid. Honestly, it's about time we get another Kool-Aid, one of the Shea Kool-Aid's drag daughters on the show. I've been saying this, and I think Bambi would be a great place to start. And I think Bambi would be an amazing competitor, an amazing queen. She's gorgeous, great performer. That does bring me to the end of my list. Like I said, there's a lot of Chicago performers I included on this list. I didn't initially intend on including so many Chicago performers, but they're so good, like, you can't not include Chicago performers. And also, I feel like it's a pretty untapped location. I mean, we've had some Chicago representation, but imagine how much more that they can offer. So I feel like next season, they need to bring on a whole bunch more Chicago drag, and I would love to see it. Overall, this is my own list. Of course, let me know what you think of my list down below in the comment section. Let me know who you want to see down below in the comment section. Do you think it's time for more drag representation? Do you think it's time to have a drag king on the show? Personally think I do. Think it is. Think it is time to put a drag king on the show. And yeah, that does bring me to the end of my list. I already said that. But, I will be back here tomorrow with my Season 14 Episode 2 review. I am not doing a YouTube Live tomorrow. I will be doing that on Saturday. We're going to try that out and see how that goes. Let me know what sort of content you would like to see on the channel. Also, we did get a teaser for España Season 2. So hopefully España will be coming out shortly. I loved España Season 1. So of course I will be reviewing España Season 2. Anyways, now that does bring me to the end of my video. Make sure to like this video if you liked it, comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. Come join the Sandwich Hour community. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sandwich Hour. And also hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I will be back here tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.